evening, YouTube. You guys are now watching another segment of the Cali Effect. Today, we're going to be teaching you guys how to play magicians. That's right, not just any magicians, because the Cali Effect doesn't pull rabbits out of hats. We're going to teach you guys how to play Odd Eyes Magician, also known as OEM. Now, for the people that are wondering why is it called OEM, hey, you guys are the same people that probably played PE twice. So let's get down to how these cards play so we can all figure out how these cards play. There's a lot of places to start, but I think I'm just going to start off with Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon. Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon makes the deck because OMG, it's for OEM and Odd Eyes is an O. So, go. No? Okay. Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon is a scale 4, and if it's in your pendulum zone at the end phase, you can destroy it to add one pendulum monster from your deck to your hand with 1500 or less attack. Ironically enough, it's on the field and it attacks a monster and it inflicts damage. It inflicts double the damage, but that's not the real reason why we play that card. We don't play for double the damage. High stakes or nothing? Not really. The next is Dragon Pulse and Dragon Pit Magician. Both of these monsters have very similar effects of discarding a pendulum monster while there's another magician on the other side of the pendulum scale to do something. Dragon Pit Magician, if I am correct, discards the pendulum spell the pendulum monster to destroy a spell on the field, while Dragon Pulse Magician discards a pendulum monster to destroy a monster on the field. Did I get it right? Did I get it right? I think I got it right. I'm pretty sure I got it right. Next is Oath Dragon Magician. Now, Oath Dragon Magician is a level 6, 2100 attack monster. Its effect states if it's in your pendulum zone and you have another magician monster, you can add one Odd Eyes or one magician card from your extra deck to your hand. Consequently, if it's normal summoned or special summoned, you can add one Odd Eyes or magician monster from your graveyard to your hand. This card actually has a really good effect, but its stats inhibit itself for right now, seeing that it's a level 6 and it's kind of hard to do anything with level 6s for this deck. Next is Wizard Eye Magician. Now, if Wizard Eye Magician is in your scale along with another magician monster, you can destroy Wizard Eye Magician. And if you do, you get to place another pendulum card onto the scale. This is really interesting, not only for loading your pendulum extra deck up, but also searching the appropriate pendulum card you need to pendulum summon. The next thing about Wizard Eye is that you can discard it from your hand to the graveyard to target a pendulum scale that is not its original scale and then make it its original scale. So those effects are pretty interesting, but the most important effect is its pendulum scale effect. Being able to search almost any pendulum magician monster you need to the field right now to get the exact perfect pendulum summon you want is really good. Next on the list isn't exactly a magician, but it's Perform Pow Skull Joker. Its pendulum effect states if it's in your pendulum zone, you cannot special summon anything except for Perform Pow, Odd Eyes, or magician monsters. But that's not the important effect. The important effect is its monster effect. When it's normal summoned, you can add a Perform Pow, Odd Eyes, or magician monster from your deck to your hand, except for Perform Pow Skull Joker. So this card is practically the 1800 form of Stratos for us. Gee, everybody gets a Stratos. You get a Stratos. You get a Stratos. Elemental Heroes get... Let's not talk about that. Next is Noble Dragon Magician. Now, Noble Dragon Magician pendulum effect states if there's not another pendulum magician monster in the other zone, it's destroyed. Noble Dragon Magician is pretty racist, okay? Seeing that all the other magician monsters include Odd Eyes or Perform Pow as well as magicians, Noble Dragon Magician really doesn't like anybody else. Furthermore, if Noble Dragon Magician is being used for a synchro summon, it must be a dragon monster. That's just more racism. This card is most cuddliest, racist monster in the game right now, okay? And I'm not liking it. If you do control an Odd Eyes monster that's level 7 or higher, you can reduce its level by 3 to special summon Noble Dragon Magician from your hand or graveyard. Another great thing that makes this card so racist, like why I wanted to do things, is if it's used as a material with other monsters that are not Odd Eyes, Noble Dragon Magician is placed to the bottom of your deck. It's so restricting, but when you turn around, it's like so good. I love you, Noble Dragon Magician. And no, it's Justin's waifu, so I don't even really want it that much. Next on the list is Shang Magician. Now what Shang Magician does is while it's in the pendulum scale, you can target one Exceed monster you control and it becomes a monster with a normal level. Like you can actually Exceed summon with it type thing. Next, if it's on the field, you can target one monster on the field that's light. Its effect is negated. This card negates light monsters' effects on both players' turn. I wish Exciton was still a card, so this card would just like go up in mad crazy price, but hey, it's not it. After that, we have Shang Magician. Now what Shang Magician does is that you can target one Exceed monster you control and one monster you control. That monster's rank becomes the level of the monster that you selected. Furthermore, if Shang Magician is on the field, your opponent takes no damage, but you can target one monster on the field and its attack becomes that monster's attack. These two cards are pretty good, but we can move on to the other Magician cards now. Moving on to spell support, because there's no really traps for this deck. And to all of the Magician cards that I have missed, you probably should already know what they do, or they're OCG. Keep in mind that this is a TCG channel, so we're going to focus on all the cards we could play right now. Pendulum Call. You can discard one card from your hand to add two Magician monsters with different names from your deck to your hand. Furthermore, your Pendulum Magician monsters that are in your Pendulum zones cannot be destroyed until the end of your opponent's next turn. If you've already activated the Magician card, you can't use this card. But oh my god, this card is amazing! Free scales! Free scales! And then there's Sky Iris, which is incredibly disappointing. I thought I had so much belief in this card. Like, it's decent, but it's disappointing. What Sky Iris does is while it's on the field, your pendulum cards in your pendulum zone cannot be targeted by opponent's card effects. Another thing is that you can destroy one card, face-up card you control, to add an Odd Eyes card from your deck to your hand. While it's not completely useless, it could be so much better. Next on this list, this card has so much potential. It's Odd Eyes Fusion. And what Odd Eyes Fusion allows you to do is fusion summon one dragon from your extra deck using cards you control on your side of the field, like a normal polymerization. But here comes the tricky part. If your opponent has two monsters and you have no monsters, keep in mind when I say two, I mean two or more and you have none, you can use Odd Eyes monsters from your deck. Now, if I'm correct, most of the Odd Eyes fusions require pendulums and, Odd Eyes cards, which at the top of your head, you think it's bad, and then you start to remember that Odd Eyes Rebellion Dragon is a Pendulum Exceed. You clever, clever bastards. I think it's safe for us to move on to the extra deck on theme support. And we're going to start off with Odd Eyes Meteor Burst Dragon. Now, Odd Eyes Meteor Burst Dragon is an interesting synchro, and I love Konami for this. They didn't make any of the Odd Eyes extra deck cards except for the, real Odd Eyes extra deck cards, theme specific. So you can use just about any tuner and any non-tuner to make this monster. So what its effect states is when it's special summoned, you get to target one pendulum card in your pendulum zone and then special summon it to your side of the field. Why does that scream instant rank 7 play? The best thing about Odd Eyes is that during the battle phase, one time only, an opponent's monster's effect cannot be activated in the battle phase. So that's really good for getting over all the ships that's not Forerunner and Dark Destroyer. I just thought I should put that out there. Speaking of great rank 7 plays that Meteor Burst Dragon sets up, we're going to talk about the card that it could set up into, which is Odd Eyes Absolute Dragon. Now, when a monster declares an attack when Odd Eyes Absolute Dragon is on the field, you can detach one material and negate the attack. Also, if you have an Odd Eyes card in your hand or graveyard, you can special summon it because you negated an attack. Oh, so you're plussing me for stopping stuff. That's too good. That's not even the best part. When Absolute Dragon is Exceed summoned and then sent to the graveyard, you can special summon one Odd Eyes monster from your extra deck to the side of the field. So first of all, hold on. I use Meteor Burst to make this card, and then I attack with a weak monster, and then I negate that monster's attack, and then I can special summon that Meteor Burst I just used, and then the Meteor Burst effect means in the opponent's battle phase, one time only, they can't activate a monster effect? And this deck isn't good because what? On the Exceed list, I have the best Exceed monster of all time. Like, this card is like, oh my god, and it's a pendulum. I'm talking about Odd Eyes Rebellion Dragon. Now, Odd Eyes Rebellion Dragon's pendulum effect is if it's in the pendulum scale and there's no other occupants of the other scale, you can just put a pendulum scale right there. It don't really mean nothing. Just put it there, you know, free of charge. Next is if Odd Eyes is special summoned using an Exceed monster as material, you can destroy all level 7 and lower monsters your opponent controls. If you do, your opponent takes 1,000 damage, and this card can make up to 3 attacks that turn. He can make 3 attacks that turn. What are you smoking, Konami? What makes this card even worse is that if it's destroyed, you can put it to your extra deck. And if you were to pendulum summon, if you could pendulum summon a level 7, he can be special summoned. I give up on this card. It's utterly broken. Why wasn't this a $20+ card any sooner? For fusion monsters that just follow up to be so amazing, we have Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon. Now, when Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon is special summoned, you can target one face-up attack position monster and return it to the hand. That's good, okay? But that's not even its best effect. When a spell trap or monster effect is activated, you can shuffle one pendulum monster from your extra deck to your deck to negate the activation and destroy it. It's already bad enough that this card has a 3,000 defense, 2,500 attack. He can negate stuff. What was Konami smoking when they gave us all these cards? And what were you smoking not to pick them up sooner when they were cheap? The other 2 fusion monsters aren't that great, but I'm just going to talk about one of them because the other one, it's good. But, I mean, come on now. Do you guys really want me to go into all that time? I'm talking about Ruinized Pendulum Dragon. Now, if it's special summoned using a monster that's level 5 and lower, I believe, it gets to make 2 attacks. And if it's special summoned using a monster above 5, it gets to make 3 attacks. That's actually really good. Alright, I'll talk about it. We'll talk about Beast Eyes Pendulum Dragon, alright? If it destroys an opponent's monster, you can inflict damage to your opponent up to or equal to the monster that has the original attack that was the beast monster. So whatever beast monster you fuse with it, your opponent takes that much damage when it destroys a monster. That's it. It's nothing really that special. Consequently, there are so many great off-support cards with this for this deck. There's Ebon, Magician of the Illusions, or whatever he is, okay? There's Miss Valley Apex Avion. There's Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. There's so many good cards. Even Dark Magician can be played in here. This deck is exciting to play. It's fun. It can be budget. It can be expensive. And it can be so many things in between. I hope you guys enjoyed the Dev Pro Duel I'm about to give to you guys on Wednesday. I'll see you there. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. If you want to buy the cheapest cards online from your favorite YouTuber, go to the link in the description. That's going to take you to my binder update. Consequently, if you want to see more Cali Effect content, on the left side, I have a review of me doing this amazing site called Jimmer. And on the right side, I have me playing Black Wings. Can't wait to see you guys on another one of those videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, but most of all, enjoy.